is the sponsor of the Emerging Librarian. And we are really proud to be giving you the final installment of the computer literacy, which also is the last webinar for the Liasa and Nevada for the year 2025. And it has been really a great year. Throughout this year, we've had webinars where we're just giving information, and those can be found on the Liasa YouTube channel, Liasa News. And I just want to welcome also, not alone, I have Mr. Simon Laseba Mujapilu, who is my mentor and the Emerging Librarian for 2023. He is joining us. I think also from there in Nevada, Miss Frida van Veek, who's also going to be joining us. Mr. Laseba, you also just let me know when Dr. Malauzi, who is the speaker of the day, comes through. So just few announcements before we get into Tuesday's webinar. I hope that you have your Excel spreadsheet open just so that you can follow, because this is a practical workshop. I also hope that you will be asking any questions. So remember that you can use the chat if you've got any questions, and then we'll just ask as we go along if you've got any question. But otherwise, at the end of the session, the speaker will also be available to answer any questions that might be available. So you can just unmute and then ask your question. We do kindly ask that you keep your microphones switched off throughout the webinar so that we allow the speaker to make his presentation and training without any trouble or problems. And then at the end, if you've got any question, you can just go ahead and unmute your mic. I am not sure if Dr. Malusi is in, so I can just give it to him, or otherwise we can just wait a few minutes for him to log in. Doctor, are you in the house?
Yes, I'm in the house.
Okay, thank you very much. It's great having you once again. We're looking forward to hearing your presentation. So, without wasting any further time, because we know that you took out your time this morning to join us, and we don't want to keep you waiting. And also, we want to allow the doctor to do his presentation and enough time for any questions later on. So, just to introduce the speaker, I know we've been introducing him, but just to remind you that Dr. Malauzi began his career in 2019 at the University of Limpopo, working in the e-learning department and Limpopo Collab as a facilitator. In his role, he conducted computer literacy training for first years and final year students, as well as basic computer skills training for unemployed youth and educators. In 2020, he was appointed as a junior lecturer in the program of information studies at the University of Limpopo, teaching first-year students. Since 2021, he also served as a part-time lecturer at the University of KwaZulu-Natal's College of Health Sciences, where he lectures both first years and postgraduate students. Additionally, he worked as information management and system administrator at the Mvula Trust in Limpopo branch. Currently, Dr. Malauzi holds a senior lecturer position at the University of Limpopo in the program of information studies. Since August 2021, he has been lecturing, coordinating practicum programs for undergraduate students and supervising postgrad students. So August marks his anniversary at the in the program. His academic qualification include a 4-year bachelor's degree in information science and master's degree in information studies, specializing in information systems and networks. His research focused on the application of cloud computing in libraries, a case study of Polokwane municipal libraries. He later earned a PhD in information science from University of South Africa. Dr. Malauzi's research excellence has been recognized through several achievements. In 2022, he received the UNISA Research and Innovation Postgraduate Student Showcase Award for doctoral candidates. He also participated in International Student Exchange Program in Michigan State University, a top-ranked institution globally, where he presented his PhD research. Additionally, he has published multiple research articles in the field. And of course, this morning, he is going to be giving a training on the Computer Literacy Excel Part 3, which is the advanced program. Dr. Mlozi, you can take the stage, and thank you very much for honoring this invite.
Thank you so much. Friends, compatriots, let's resume where we were in our previous session. Can you kindly confirm if you can hear me and you can see my screen?
Yes, we can, Doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. Colleagues, today we are going to talk about few Excel functions. This includes if function, it also includes some if function, it includes VUp, it also includes concatenate function. So for us to better understand these functions, I'm going to have a practical activity that I will do so that we can see how to apply those functions. So we're going to start with if function, and when we start with if function, I want us to do the recap of what we spoke about in our previous session. So remember, in our previous session, we spoke about sheet. We said that the worksheet has sheets. You can add as many as you want. So in this case, we're going to have a master sheet where we'll be working on. From there, we have got a sheet list where we're going to have some of the information captured there. So to save time, I won't be typing. I will just do the copy and paste of things I was supposed to type. So in our worksheet, let's assume that we have got a type of books. So in this case, colleagues, I'm going to create a workflow sheet. This will be an example of activity that I will use to get those functions applied. So we're going to have the list of books. The books that we will have on our list will include, in fact, here's not supposed to be books, I want to say literature. Okay, we have got the list of literature, and our list includes books, database, newspapers, and dictionaries, etc. So from there, I want us to have another column where we're going to have the delivery of item. Then under the delivery of item, I want us to have yes and no. From there, I also want us to have if items are paid or not paid. And here I also want to have yes or no. From there, I also want us to have cost of items. Cost of items. From there, under the cost of items, because we have got books. Remember last time we spoke about different ways to do copy and paste. So we are going to copy books, database, newspaper, dictionaries using the transpose copy and paste. So just for a recap, you know that you copy going down and now you want them to be pasted going sideways. In this case, you tick from where you want to paste this information, right click, go under the special paste. That's where we're going to find our transpose. Then we say, okay, we have got our literature copied there. You can see this is our literature. So we can just assume the amount of the literature. I'll just quickly type any amount. Then the newspapers obviously have this. Yeah, this is the amount. Then we are done with the sheet information so that when we go to work on our master sheet, we know where to source out some information. We go back to our master sheet. On our master sheet, we can have the number. Remember last week I taught you about the autofill. Just for a recap, when you do an autofill, it's going to be 1 and 2. You have to instruct the Excel how you want to autofill whatever that you want to autofill. In this case, I want to autofill numbers 1, 2, 3 going down. So it means I'll have to say 1 and 2, select, do what? Double click on there or drag the selected information so that Excel can know what I want to do. I want to have these numbers, then in the other column, I can have the names of people that I want to deliver these things to. Then I can also have the type of literature. Then remember, last week we spoke about the data validation. So I want to have the options when I select the type of a literature. So for me to have a selection option, it means I have to select this column where I want those options to be presented. From there, I select. After selecting, I go under the data validation.
Dr. Mlaudzi,
Yes,
I'm sorry to disturb you, but it looks like you are not audible enough. Even on my side, I thought maybe it's network, but I can see people from the chat box, they are saying they can't clearly hear you.
okay. Let me do this. Just a minute. Let me change the device.
Yeah, I guess now we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, you select. After you have selected, you go under the data tab. From data tab, we've got the data validation. That's where you'll find data validation. You go see list. We want list in our case. Then you're going to select your source. Where do you get the source? This is our source. You select this source. And in case you want to add other literature, it means you can select 2 empty cells. Then after you've made selection, you say enter. Okay, then it takes you back to your master sheet. Then now you are able to do what? To select your type of literature. Let's say you had people who want database, some they want books. You are able to do what? You are able to make this selection. Then we have another column. Under this column, you can have the delivery of the items, where you indicate whether the item was delivered or not delivered. And for you to have the yes and no option, it means you have to do what? You have to go for the data validation. The same procedure that I followed, you are still going to do what? You are still going to apply it. Then you go data validation list. This is just a recap for those who still want to see how to do the data validation. Then you select yes and no under the item delivered. You say enter. From enter, you say okay. Then now you're able to do it. You're able to specify whether the item was delivered or the item was not delivered. Then under the payment, we also have the column where you're going to indicate whether the item was paid or the item was not paid. Then in this case, the same procedure for data validation still applies. Then is list, we want list, the source. This will be our source. You say enter, okay. Then from the payment, we are now going into what I wanted us to talk about. On the recap, I was too fast, but now I'm going to be very slow so that people can get the function that I'm going to introduce. We're going to have the cost of items. We're going to have the cost of items. Then we want to know if our client has ordered books. In this case, we want to assume that you are working on this cash flow as a vendor or as a bookseller, or you are in the acquisition. You will see how you can find this exercise applicable in your workspace. So we have cost of items. So we want to know if our client has ordered books and this books is delivered, paid, what will be the amount here? So to get that, we need to make use of if function. When you do with if function, you simply say equal sign. If, like I told you that once you start any alphabet of the name of any function, then the Excel will suggest, are you looking for if? Yes, I'm looking for if function. Then when you say, I'm looking for if function, it will give you the if function, and below it gives you what you are supposed to do. In this case, we want the logical test. What will be our logical test? Test. Our logical test will be the C column. In this case, it will be C2. C2 is where we want to get our information. If we have got a book, how much will be the price of the book without us taking much time to do what? To go check in the list. So in this case, we will have the book there and the amount will be presented. How do we make sure that the amount is presented? We are saying if cell 2 is a book, then we have to give the name of the book here. And when you give the name of the book, make sure that you open inverted commas. When you open inverted commas, when you open the inverted commas, you are basically instructing Excel to say, make sure you are able to match these letters, because normally Excel deals with numbers. So once you start to involve text, make sure you make use of inverted commas. So in this case, we are going to say, if within C2 we find books, then the cost should be, we're going to our sheet list where the cost of the book is presented. You'll click on the sheet 2, then books, you will find out that is 110 fifth. Then you say enter. You see, now it tells you that within C2, if there is a book, then the cost should be 110 fifth. But if there is a database, it says false. Why it says false? Because we haven't instructed Excel to say, if within C2 we have got a database, this should be the price. So this means that we are required to write full details on our function. We will have to go back to our F2 to complete our function so that it can accommodate other literatures. So we are going to continue with our if function. Now we only made the specification, or we only made the instruction for books. It means we should go further to database. Then we're going to cancel that closed bracket. We write our punctuations. And one thing you should remember is that every time when you work with formulas, you must always make sure that these punctuations are correctly entered. Because if you do not enter them correctly, you're going to have a serious challenge. So we're going to continue with our if. Then we are saying if inside C2, there is database. There is database. Then our cost should be 400. You see, now when you come under the C2, you say, if it's books, it says 150. If it was database, it will say 400. But if we go for newspaper, it says false. The reason why it says false, it is because we haven't specified for newspapers. So it means we have to do what? We have to specify for the newspapers. Then we go back to our function. We do what? We cancel the closed brackets, because when you have closed brackets, you're basically saying my function is complete. So now, because we want our function to continue, we'll cancel those brackets. We'll continue with our function. We'll have our punctuations, the semicolons, and we say if under C2 we have newspapers. If under C2 we have newspapers, then the cost should be 20 rand. Then just to confirm the correctness of your function, I would advise you to say enter before you can include other items. Then now you see, we have got newspapers. It says how much? 20 rand. But when we go back to books, it says 150. Then if we say dictionaries, it says false. So for us to include dictionaries, it means we have to go back to our incomplete function and make sure we do what? We complete it now. And if you are observant, you can see that our closed brackets are 3, are no longer 2. At first it was 1, then I added database, they became 2. I added newspapers, they became 3. So now if you have to count, is 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 things. Then we closed this 3 times. But we're going to cancel all the closed brackets. Then we do what? We continue with our function. It means now we're going to say semicolons. Then if within C2, we have dictionaries. Let me type dictionaries. If C2, under C2 we have dictionaries, then the cost should be, we get our cost from the sheet list. Then our cost should be 700. Then you say enter. Then this, it basically tells you that you did not close the brackets. But if you say yes, it's going to close brackets on your behalf. Then now you can see that we have got 700. So dictionaries, the cost of the item is 700. If it's books, the cost is going to be 150. But if it is database, the cost will be 400. So this basically helps you to have correct records without spending much of your time. If you're in acquisition, you are capturing records. This method or this cash flow together with the if function will help you have the accuracy in your data. But now the question is, how can we have this function copied going down? Because if we say we want to copy the function, it gives you this. The question is, how do we copy the function going down. You need to go back to your function and do what? Make some addition. What addition are you going to make? When you check on the costs for books and the cost for database and the cost for newspaper, the cost for dictionaries, all these costs are found under specific cells. So remember, when you copy a function, by default, you are applying what we call cell reference. And cell reference, we say it is a relative reference, meaning that it is relative to the location of the cell. When you copy it, it also go to the next cell. If you're from A2, then you copy the function while you are on cell reference, it will go to A3. So for you to be able to copy the function without losing some data, you have to apply what we call absolute cell reference. Why do you have to apply absolute cell reference? Because absolute cell reference is a way to ensure that a specific cell reference remain constant even if the formula is copied or moved to another cell. Then how do we apply absolute cell reference? You know cells that you do not want to change, and these cells are cost of the items. So it means you're going to go to E2. E2, that's where we find the cost of the books, which is 1/5, and apply absolute cell reference. How do you apply absolute cell reference? You have to key in F4. When you key in F4, you will notice this solar dollar signs, which is S before E and S before 2. Then you do the same to F2, you apply the absolute cell reference. You do the same to G2, you apply cell reference. You do the same to H2, you apply cell reference. Then you say enter. Once you say enter, now you'll be able to do what? To copy your function. Let's copy our function and see what will happen. You see, when we copy our function now, it gives us the amount where we indicated the type of the literature. Even if we come here and we say we need a book, it will give you 1/5. If we come here, we say we need a database, it will give you 400. If we come here, we say we need newspaper, it will give you 20 rand. If we say it's a dictionary, it will give you 700, so forth. You see, this is how the if function together with the absolute cell reference work to ensure that your data entry is accurate. We don't find where you indicated 1/5 under the database, whereas it was supposed to be 400. So this is how these functions are working to make sure that you have got correct data captured. So going forward, we are going to have another column. Under this column, we're going to have, let's say, the expenses. We're going to say the expenses. We can have the expenses. You have got the expenses you had when you paid the items or when the item was delivered. But in this case, we will say now you have this sheet. This sheet tells that if you order books, you will have the cost of 1/5. But once this book is paid, how much will you have? You want to check the total amount of items that were ordered and items that were paid. In this case, it means you need to have the column where you'll have to indicate the expenses. How do you present that? You're going to use what we call sum if function. Then how do you use sum if function? With sum if function, when you use it, you have to say equal sign, sum, then the Excel will suggest the possible functions that are in line with what you wrote. Then we have sum if function here. You click on the sum if function. When you click on the sum if function, then now you want to say if under E2, then your criteria. If under E2, don't remember the punctuations where you're going to use text. If under E2, we have got yes, then you must give me 1/5. Then you say enter. Now it's no, it means the item is not paid, you have got nothing. But if you pay the item, let me check something here. Right. If under this you have got yes, then it must give you this. Something that I'm doing right. Oh, my punctuations. Why is giving me this? Something that I'm not doing right. Let me check something. Something that I'm not doing right. Yeah, okay. If sum if, then I want this to give me, I'm using this. I want this to give me yes by doing this. Yeah, I didn't know why it was giving me those things. Then this is how the sum if function works. You are saying if under E2 there is yes written, then it must give me 1/5. Then with this one, when you copy, you are not going to do the absolute, you do the the relative. Why? Because the amount to represent is dependent on the next cell. So in this case, you are just going to copy without doing anything. Then when you come here, you can just say yes. You can just say no. You say yes if the item is paid. No, then the item is paid. Yes, so forth. This helps you to have the total of the items paid. Remember, in our previous session, we spoke about sum. And you need to be aware that there is sum if there is sum. So in our previous session, we spoke about sum. Today, we are adding sum if. So for you to have sum, to have total, you need to use sum. So we need the total of amount, the total amount of items that were paid. Then we are going to use the sum. Then we say enter. It will tell you that the total expense of the items that are paid is 1.5. Then if you pay other items that were not paid, then it will still increase automatically without you having to take the calculator, doing that manually, end up making some errors. So with this one, you are rest assured that your things will be accurate without any problems. Then this is what I wanted to show about the cash flow, where we spoke about if function, sum if. So the exercise, you can relate it to so many activities. You can take the functions together with the activities to solve problems within your workspace. I don't know whether you work you work in acquisition, you work in cataloging, you work in circulation. You can also use the same functions to check out and return books if you're working in acquisition. Even if you're working in library interloan, you can relate the use of these functions and apply them. You just need to have a picture of what you want to do and know how to apply them. But what I can tell you is that if you know how to apply each function, if you know how to apply some function, you will not have any problems. Then going into VLOOKUP and concatenate function. Let's say you are working at Liasa. Liasa has members, and each member has membership number. These are the membership number of your members. Let's say you are allocating them. Let's say you are allocating the membership number. You can allocate the membership number using the autofill. Remember the autofill that we spoke about? So let's say you're allocating the membership number. You have allocated the membership number now. So once you've allocated the membership number, they are saying you must allocate or you must create the emails for these people. You need to have the email account for these people. You cannot come here and say this membership number at liasa.com. Liasa has so many members. Just imagine if you were to do this manual, it's going to be time consuming. So to avoid that, there is a function that you can use to allocate the membership number to your members. In fact, this function, it is used to combine data from different cells, and we call it concatenate. So how do we use this function? You simply say equal sign. If you just say CON, then you will have the Excel suggesting the functions that you're looking for. Here is the function that you're looking for. You just double click on the function. When you double click on the function, you know what you want to confirm. What is it that you want to combine, by the way? Is this membership number, then semicolon, together with @liasa.com. Because @liasa.com, it involves text. Remember the exclamation mark. I mean, those inverted commas, not exclamation mark. Then you're going to have the inverted commas. You're going to have the inverted commas. In between the inverted commas, that's where you're going to type @liasa.com. Then you say enter. Then once you've done so, you do what? You just apply the autofill. Now you can check. Each member has the email and the membership number is the same. You see, this and this is the same. So you have used what? You have used the function to do what? To combine data from two different cells. Then we also have the VLOOKUP function. With the VLOOKUP function, let's assume that you have got the books in the library. Let's say call number. This is call number. I'll just write the random numbers for the interest of time. These are the call numbers. Then I do autofill. Yeah. These are our call numbers. We have got our call numbers. Then we are experiencing audit. The auditors came. Then when they came, they gave you list of these books. And these books, when they gave them to you, were randomized. They are saying, we need information for these books. Let's say on your list is a call number, is a title. When it's a title, let me just say CC. This is the title, CD. These are the titles. I'm just making assumptions for the interest of time because you don't have time. Yeah, let's assume that, oh, it says CC. Let me just, I want to do this so that. I want to assume that this is our. Okay, let's assume that these are different titles for this book. Then the auditors, when they come, they say, we want information about these books. They want information about these books. So you're going to use your Excel expertise to get these books from that list together with their title, whatever that it is. So it means you're going to copy this given list. You come here, you can have the books here. What else can I add here? Let me say, let's add ISBN number. Let me do this so that we have got ISBN number. We have got at least some few details. Yeah. But now the auditors, they want you to have the call number. I mean, they want you to have the title, ISBN number, and other information for these books. And these books, you know that they are here under your list. This is 1,000. You can't just come, copy this, to what, use the find icon, paste and say, find this company. You can't just come here, use the find something. Let me mess up with my numbers. Something messed up with my numbers. 5, let me check. Messed up with my numbers. Okay, this is my number. Yeah, you can use this find feature to get the list for these books. That will be time consuming. We have got a function called VLOOKUP that you can use. We have got the function called VLOOKUP that you can use. So in this case with the function, you will come under the title and say equal sign VLOOKUP. When you say VLOOKUP, we want this call number amongst this list. So we're going to have this number. Then we say our punctuations. We say table array. Table array is our list starting from this to this. From there, we have got index. What are we looking for? In this case, we want title for this call number. We want title for this call number. So we go back to our table array and count. We have got how many columns? 1, 2, 3. So in this case, because it's title, we want whatever that is within column number 2. Then we say column. Then it needs, it asks, it's supposed to be appropriate match or exact match. In this case, we want exact match. Then we say enter. When you say enter, it gives you the what? The title for this call number. Then we can do the same with the ISB number. We say equal sign VLOOKUP, then we want this call number. Where do we want this call number? Amongst this list. And for this call number, what are we looking for now? We're looking for ISB number. It means it's going to be column number 3. And we want exact match. Then we say enter. So now we want to copy our function to other call numbers. Remember the absolute cell reference and relative cell reference. So in this case, if you can just here and do it and copy, it will appear. But now the difference is that if you check the table here, it is A22C34. But when you come here, the table has changed from what? A32C35. It means that the A2 has been excluded because you used the relative cell reference. So you do not have to copy with the relative cell reference. Instead, you need to copy with the absolute cell reference. It means you have to come and edit your function. Where do you edit your function? You only edit your function for your table array. Then it means you're going to apply the absolute cell reference for the coordination of the table. Then you say enter. You also do the same even under the ISBN. You apply the absolute cell reference. Then you say enter. Then you come here. You do what? You copy. You copy the function. Then now you are able to do what? To take the list to the auditors. You give them the list of books that were randomly picked. Then you present your list without having incorrect information. And you can do this for all the information under the circulation. You've got the check-in, check-out time, dates, cell phone number, all those things. You can do them, but for the interest of time, I had to only make example of these few things. Colleagues, as usual, 10 minutes, I take it for the questions. Chair, back to you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. For now, we are going to be taking any questions. If you have any questions, I think Mr. Mujapule, actually, let me just hand over to you, sir, and you can facilitate that. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kolelwa, our chair. And also thank you, Dr. Mlaudzi, for such an insightful training. I guess we are learning every day. And I believe that we are going to improve even our services in our respective libraries. So now we'll be taking questions, colleagues. If you have a question, you can just raise up your hand, then I will recognize you, or you can type in your question in the chat box, whichever way you prefer. So the floor is open. Do you still remember those formulas? The concatenate formulas, the VLOOKUP, the sum if. You still remember them? Any question, colleagues? Or you can just unmute and then we hear your question. It might be a question, a comment, anything. Colorado, I don't know, but it looks like our colleagues are moving with time. It looks like we have...
Through you, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot. I am Malipole in Walter Sisulu University. I thought in acquisition space, this is very informative. Even maybe in trying to deal with your orders and allocating the amounts and so on and so forth, but Excel is always that new thing that we have to learn upon it every day. So I think we are grateful for Doc to give us this presentation, but it felt for it as being one day, it seems as not enough. Maybe for me, maybe other colleagues have tested in terms of Excel, but I have learned something. So I thanks a lot for this initiative and the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. You know, with Excel, I don't know if it's from my side, but Excel is something which every day when you learn it, you feel like you need the whole day for you to understand it because there are a whole lot of formulas within Excel. Even if we start a new presentation now, then we introduce other formulas, then you feel as if you don't know anything about Excel. But however, all the recordings will be available on YouTube. You can go to Liasa News on YouTube, and then the recordings will be there. And I know the training that we had today, it's going to help most acquisition librarians. So thank you so much for your comments. Anyone else? Okay. Uh, Chair, it looks like all is well. So I'm handing over the baton to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. De Silva. And I just want to give a very warm and a big thank you to Dr. Who has been giving us this training. Actually, one of the sessions that is standing out for me is the one that he gave on the use of AI especially in public libraries. And as Mr. Mujabile said, that you can get that recording on YouTube. So, Dr. We just want to say thank you very much from Liasa Nevada, Emerging Librarian. We really learned a lot, and it was really great having you. And from all the session, I think one of the person that was making the comment to say that these are helpful. You know, if someone took one or two, I think you've really done a great job. And I just want to say thank you very much again for honoring this invite and coming to give the information specialists and the librarians your expertise when it comes to the field of computer literacy and AI as well. Thank you very much. Okay, colleagues, we have come to the end of our session today. And as I've said, my name is Xolelwa Tsohile, the Emerging Librarian for the year 2024. I'm really looking forward to 2025 when we will be having our next Emerging Librarian. And this is also our last webinar for the year. So we are wrapping up this series, hopefully next year, when we have someone, you will be part of these series that we will be giving training on. And of course, we are looking for your suggestions. If you've got any, you can just send the suggestion on the email address that was sent when you register. It is there for anything that you would want to suggest moving forward with the Emerging Librarian. And I also just want to say thank you very much to our sponsor, Nevada, who has made these webinars possible for us to come and give the webinars and also just be part of it. I want to thank Liasa, who made sure that they give us the platform. Thank you very much to Apelele, to Lebu in the office. We really appreciate you, and thank you very much just throughout the year how you have been assisting us with the webinars. And of course, I want to say a very big thank you to my mentor who have worked so well this year, Mr. Simon Lesiba Mujabilu. And from me, thank you very much, colleagues, for taking your time out this Friday morning. And I hope that you are going to be having a very good Friday. And I hope it is as short as the weekend is going to be. And I hope that you enjoy your weekend as well. Have a great day ahead. Thank you very much, colleagues. Bye-bye.